just come out of the gate with a solid start.
Here we go, folks. You are watching CEVO TV. I'm Mess, joined by later tonight. It's CEVO-Main, Selfless versus Notorious. Best of one on DE Train. Selfless winning the knife round, opting to stick with the CT side as is expected. We'll have to see if Notorious has done their homework and has some prepared executes and perhaps some set pieces for taking some sites here on Train. It's looking like already they're staging up near Ivy. We've got 3 there for the counter terrace, along with some decoys.
Yeah, so it looks like they're going to be trying to sell, I guess, a double fake there, throwing decoys at Ivy to make them think that they're not there, when in reality they're just sitting there delaying, waiting for the decoys to wear off, and then I assume they're just going to be charging through with the other nades that they have, 2 flashes and a smoke grenade.
That would seem to be the call here, as they are down to the 1 nade left, and they use that. Trying to draw the rotate into B, but I don't think they sold it as the number 4 man. That's Razor, already rotated back to the A site. Battle is out for A as Anomaly decapitates Kata from way downtown. Tempo gets the trade out, though, and they come storming out from Ivy. Trying to get the bomb planted down on the center of the site. They're able to do so, but look at this lurk from Kusta. He's able to get one Elemental, fighting someone in the high ground there. It's all up to Tempo and Element to hold off this retake. It's a 3-on-2. Tempo gets one. He's got a good line of sight on the second one. That's Whitehound. Oh, but he gets flanked, and the retake was just too strong. So the pistol round will go to Selfless, but Notorious was able to get the plant off.
Yeah, that's not a bad pistol round from Notorious. Selfless pretty much had a read on that play the entire way. They didn't, exactly know what was going on, but they had their players set up in a way that they were pretty much ready to rotate anywhere when the play happened. And once the outer take started to happen for Notorious, they being Selfless, were right there to stop the play. What caught them off guard, though, was the Ivy take. I think they were under the impression that the take was going to come from the T connector and the ladder, and when Tempo came storming out of the Ivy area, he was able to pick up 2 easy frags, and that's what allowed them to plant the bomb. So great heads-up play from him, and the strat, while it didn't work perfectly, was good enough to get the bomb plant.
And here in the second round, we do see 3 FAMASas and an M4, looking like Razor might be saving up for that op. And again, Notorious able to get the plant off on the back of a well-placed smoke, but already down to just 2 players. But given the fact that they are in the eco, that's kind of expected here. We're going to see if they can hold it off. It's all down to Tempo. He's the last man standing, and the site was swarming. Razor and Quicksilver combined to get the last 2 kills, and it'll be a quick 2-0 for Selfless. But 2 plants for Notorious, so you got to expect a buy here if you're Selfless.
Definitely. They have plenty of money to buy up. They can catch Anomaly. Excuse me, Anomaly. I just read his name and thought it was a team. They can catch Selfless off guard big time here, especially since they do have 3 FAMASas on the board. They are going to have plenty of money for nades, so it's really just going to be an all-out firefight. It'll be interesting to see where Notorious goes with that extra firepower that they have now. Looks like outside. Oh no, they are sending the bomb inner. I wonder if they're going to be going inner completely or splitting around a ladder. They threw that smoke to get the bomb plant in it, which is, not a super complicated smoke, but it's a pretty high-level play just to throw with a singular smoke, get the bomb in it, and get it planted fast before the other team can really do anything about it. So I'm inclined to believe that they know what they're doing with their nades, and Tempo opening the round pretty quickly with a frag on the aforementioned Anomaly.
Yeah, it's a nice job by them getting that entry kill. That's half the battle, really, on Train, is to get that opening frag. Although, through the smoke, Razor picks up 1. That's a headshot on C9. Bomb planted again, but down to 3, and Elemental is extremely wounded. We're watching from Kusta, who's already got the flank on Tempo. That's the second time he's gotten a successful flank here in the opening of this match. It's up to Kata and Elemental. Or Element, excuse me. Try to hold off. But look at this, Quicksilver is going for the yellow diffuse with the smoke in front of him. They're trying to spray him. And it's looked like they're able to do so. And unfortunately, Selfless out of time. They're going to have to retreat, save their guns. Oh no, excuse me, they did get the diffuse. Sorry, I wasn't watching from Kusta. It looked like really I saw close. Whitehound running away. I was like, what are they doing here?
Yes, I think they weren't exactly sure how close it would be. So while Kusta was on the bomb, and really only about half a second in time there, the T's were almost able to pick that up. They wanted to run away just in the off chance that they did not get the defuse. So just smart conservative play. We're going to see a save from Notorious. That was 2 rounds in a row, a save and a gun round, where we saw Notorious use the exact same strat with the exact same smoke. And because of that, Quicksilver and it was Razor who did some spamming of the smoke and got 2 pretty much unanswered kills just because they knew exactly what was happening. You know, they didn't know where the players were, but they knew they did this last time. If I spray here, I'm going to get a kill, and it worked out. And, you know, I'm not sure why Notorious would want to run the same exact strat twice in a row against a team as good as Selfless, but clearly they believe in it.
Well, I think, I would guess, well, I'll speculate on that later, as already we have an entry into the B side. This is the first time we've seen Notorious go for the Bravo site. They are able to get the bomb planted again, so that's actually 4 plants in a row, but unfortunately they're not able to hold off the retake. So what I was going to say was, I think the reason they went with the strat again was because they had guns that time, and they were able to get the plant off successfully with just pistols on the eco. So they figured, why not try it with guns and see if we can hold off the retake? And that seems to be their Achilles heel thus far. They're able to get the plants, but it costs them a lot to do so, and they're not able to hold off Selfless on the retakes.
Right, and to your point, they were a lot closer that last round. It was really, you know, a half a second, you know, kind of fraction of a second, split second, you know, difference on the defuse that made them lose the round. So I guess it was me being a little overly critical, but I would like to see them diversify their playbook a little bit. You know, go back to using that Ivy that caught off Selfless early on in the first round, or sell a fake outside and then swing the bomb inside. Just mix it up a little bit, because when you throw that one smoke by the yellow barrel, it's going to get spammed. Any good team would spam that, knowing that that plan is going to be coming. So Whitehound opening up the round with a frag on C9.
Yeah, you got to expect a player from that position. It looks like Whitehound is going to be dedicated there. Meanwhile, it's looking like the bomb is rotated to try to go to enter to catch Kusta off guard. He's going to try to hold him off. His teammates are rotating from behind. The bomb carrier eats the nade. Nice bank shot to prevent the plant. Tempo has to swing in to go for it. But Kusta, Johnny on the spot, sprays down 2 more. Beautiful defense. It's all up to Don Self, but Quicksilver was there. That was a quick rotate by his team. Honestly, I felt like they were going to be able to get the plant off, but Kusta holding fast in enter.
Yeah, Kusta with 10 frags, 1 assist, and 1 death has been absolutely dominant this game, and thus far followed close behind by Quicksilver playing the Z connector. Quicksilver's been playing a really integral role, because he hasn't always been, you know, right there first responder to any of the takes, but he's always been there supporting his team, getting the spam frags, doing damage. So kudos to both of them thus far. And Notorious is going to be on another bye. They've lost 5 in a row, so they're accruing a lot of bonus money, and they're opening this round pretty well with a first frag.
They got the first frag, but already so looking like Razor is trying to respond, does some serious damage to Kata, brings him down to 3 HP, but the bomb gets planted in the smoke by Element. The CTs do have the high ground, but the terrorists are swarming the site. It's down to 3 of them, and again, Kata is extremely wounded. Razor picking up 2 from that same spot. It's all down to Don Self and Kata. Unfortunately, he's got to stay because he's got no health. Doesn't realize that it's getting diffused. Just looking for an exit kill. And Selfless looking pretty strong here. 6-0, but Notorious making him work for it.
Absolutely. The one disadvantage to using that smoke to, you know, very stealthily plant the bomb is that the counter-terrorist team can very easily just throw a smoke over it the same way you did and hop right on the bomb. It makes it really hard to track down the player that is defusing the bomb. And while other CTs are alive and shooting, you can't just focus that bomb diffuser without, you know, completely exposing yourself. So it's a really good strat for the terrorists, as it almost guarantees a bomb plant, but it makes it really hard to retake.
Yeah, indeed, as we've seen Selfless actually be pretty successful on the retakes. I think it's because they've been patient. We saw Razor just bide his time at the high ground there, wait for the terrorists to expose themselves, and got himself a quick 2-piece as a result. Notorious slowing it down this round. They've been pretty quick with their takes and their plants thus far. This time, opting for the set-piece nades, and Razor catching Kato with that nade at ladder. Anomaly takes 1, and Whitehound is able to burn Don Self, as it's all up to Tempo. Last one alive for the terrorists. Bomb has been dropped in the center of the A site, though, and Razor's still playing that high position. I'm not sure, Tempo, if you want to take him on there in that spot from the low grounds. Unfortunately, it's now 7-0 for Selfie. They're looking pretty solid.
Yes, because Notorious has been relatively predictable with their gameplay. Actually, I wouldn't say they've been predictable. They've been kind of one note with their offense thus far. In the 7 rounds that they've played, they've only went inner one time. Kusta got a little gutsy that round and pushed through the upper B White Halls area. So he was able to gather a ton of intel and let his teammates know that, hey, they're not B at all. Like, get ready for outside. We can just beat them in a DM. But here we go, Kusta under a lot of fire, doing some damage, but not enough. He will get traded out.
Quicksilver is in good position with the op, but he chose to look at the wrong spot. He's able to get C9, but if he was watching the lower entry, he would have been able to perhaps get 1 or 2, maybe a 2 for 1. Bomb is going to get planted by Tempo. Decent looking start, but again, the Terrorists have expended a lot of energy and basically men to get this bomb down as it's down to 2. Tempo picks up 1 with a headshot. That's Razor. Quicksilver down to his knife, goes for the knife kill. Oh, he gets it on Tempo. But look at that. Kato was in perfect position to prevent the defuse, and it's down to a one-on-one. Notorious looking to get on the board here. Whitehound guessed right, heard the ladder. Forced to chase him, he gets the kill. I think he has enough time. I don't know. Does he? He's got a kit.
I don't think so.
No, he does not. Notorious gets on the board, 7-1.
Oh.
That was well played by Kato at the end there.
Yes, yeah, it really was. I don't know. I lost track of who that last remaining CT was, but looking at all their money, they all very easily could have afforded a kit. Just saying, buy a kit.
Yeah.
Buy a kit. You have no reason. It's $400. You have, $3,000 in the bank. You have no reason to buy a kit. I don't think it really would have made the difference that round. I really think going for that knife frag was a little unnecessary, and it would have been better served just quickly getting the gun frag and keeping your players alive. But there's no reason to not have a kit there. You did pick one up in time to make the 4-second defuse happen, but come on, buy a kit.
He made the attempt, but
I'm making a point here just to say,
wiggle.
Buy a kit.
I agree. There's nothing more frustrating than giving away a round you've essentially won on the fact that you didn't expend $400 that you easily had.
Right.
So it's now 7-1. Notorious finally getting on the board on the backs of a desperate push into the B site and a bit of a misstep by Selfless. So if you're Notorious here later, how many more rounds do you think they need to get to feel comfortable?
I would say 4 more rounds would at least, giving them a 10-5 half would at least set them up for, if they have a strong pistol round, a decent CT side showing. If you can win the pistol round on the terrorist side of this map, which is really not out of the question, as the Glock is a pretty strong weapon if you can get up in the face of the CT players. I think 5 is the absolute minimum that you want if you want it to keep competitive. But it's very easy for it to go both ways. Sometimes teams are just both teams are just really good on CT side, and their terrorist sides are just not ready to go. I think we saw that during what was the game we casted last Thursday? It was Tempo Gaming with Michael 3D versus Savage,
right?
Where they both had really lights out CT sides and on Dust too. And when they got on T side, which is normally considered the harder side, they pretty much fell apart. So look at Anomaly pushing. You might get a bunch of frags here if he's patient, and he is. He gets one.
Spray. Oh no!
One in basically 2 in terms of damage, but
it's still you'd expect yourself to do a little bit better there. They are able to pick up a couple of guns, but Razor on the rotate, standing in the fire to get the spray down, finishes the second Tempo off with his pistol. So it's going to be a quick 9-1 in the 10th round.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with Selfless's play thus far. They've been just really shooting well across the board. They haven't really made any massive mistakes. Cleaning up behind the kid and not overextending for that knife frag that you really didn't need. Those things are really easily cleaned up, and I think they're really putting a hurting on Notorious. I'd like to see Notorious bounce back in these last few terrorist rounds, and I think a lot of it's going to come down to their CT side pistol round to dictate where the game goes.
Yeah, at this point, it's looking like they're absolutely going to need that to have a chance, unless they just really are lights out on CT and Selfless kind of fumbles the T side, but Razor looking lights out there from the center of the A site. Last one standing is Tempo, eats an op shot from Quicksilver, so it's 10-1 in favor of Selfless, and It's looking like Notorious is going to have to save, unfortunately, as Selfless is banking. We've got 2 guys over 10K and Kusta at 15K.
Yeah, no, Selfless is pretty much set on money. They're not going to be hurting for money for the rest of the game. Notorious, unfortunately, fortunately they were accruing a lot of bonus money, which is really good. The unfortunate thing is that they did the win one lose one after accruing a lot of bonus money, where it resets all your bonus money. You expend all your money in one round, and then the next round, or after you lose, you only get $1,400 in your bank. And they were forced to save. They got shut down last round. So here we go, back on another save. Tempo knows. But no, he doesn't know enough. He still gets taken down. Was that a piercing shot? Was that a through and through?
Yeah, it was. It was a piercing shot. And it was actually a good guess. Notorious, they came to the site with 1 person, but the rotate was swift and furious, and they just got completely decimated. Again, they were on the eco. You can't expect a whole lot, but not even a bomb plan out of it, so their money woes continue.
Yeah, that's what Selfless has been bringing to the table all game. They've just been positioning themselves decently. They've always been in the right spot at the right time, and they're pairing that so well with really good shooting. They've just been, dominating the game in terms of shooting. Kusta, as we mentioned before, top frag, and he's 16-3. And 2 players around him, Razor and Quicksilver, are both 15-2 and 15-5. So they're really outputting a lot more damage than they're taking.
Anomaly, looking like he picked up a couple of frags. I don't know if he still was at that Ivy position. He does get traded out, but at 2 for 1. Always a good play for your team as it's down to 2 terrorists, Don Self, Kato with the bomb. Let's go take a look. And they're going to get flanked. Look at Kusta. They hear him coming, though. Oh, well played by Kusta. He's able to get 1, forcing Don Self to get the trade out. He does have the bomb and 100 HP, but he's up against 3 full health counter-terrorists. And Whitehound has a full set of nades at his disposal as well. But it doesn't matter. Razor on top of the train is able to eliminate Don Self. It's 12-1.
Oof, I mean, at this point, it's really getting impossible for Notorious. They're really going to need a miracle after this, unless they can just turn it on. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to really get out in the bomb sites with all their players alive in a long time. The first 4 rounds were all bomb plant rounds that they were able to get. But the main thing is that they haven't been having problems getting the bomb planted. It's just that they lose 3 guys just getting into the site. They get the bomb down, and then their last 2 guys get cleaned up fairly quickly, and the round's over. Bomb plants can't win you games. They can help your economy. They can set you up to win rounds in the future. But if you're not getting the entry frags, you just can't win a game.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the thing that they're going to need to work on train. At least on the terrorist side, it'll be setups after the bomb is planted and getting plants off of entry frags rather than just kind of smoke rushes, as we've seen Selfless play extremely patiently, weathering that initial rush, even losing a man, potentially 2, but using their positioning to make it an easy retake for themselves, as already 1 is off the board for Selfless. And that's the thing. We've seen Notorious be able to get a few initial entry frags and get the plant, but it hasn't mattered because, like I said, that patience, particularly from Kusta, has really paid off for Selfless. But this round looking really good for Notorious. They still have... Oh, they had 5 alive. It was a pre-caster curse, and the bomb is now planted at the A site. It's going to be a retake from Kusta and Quicksilver. Kusta has the auto. Whipped out his deagle for a second. Was thinking about it, and we've got 1 lurking at Ivy. I think that's the number 8 man. Element's in perfect position to take out Kusta, and unfortunately, Tempo beats him to the punch. So Notorious getting a 2nd round, and they're going to hope to get this last one.
Breathing new life into the team. That round, Selfless kind of gave Notorious a gift, specifically with Razor getting a little gutsy, a little bored, is really my guess, and pushing through a smoke that he had no business pushing through. Hoping to catch some terrorists off guard in the T-connector area. Just shift walked right through his smoke and ended up with an AK barrel in his mouth. And that's really what set up Notorious to win the round with the man advantage. Also a really great shot from Don Self set it up as well. But that was another situation where it was a round that Selfless didn't exactly have to lose, or they could have made it a lot harder on Notorious, but they opted to kind of goof around, take the fun route, and get a little careless with their play.
Yeah, because to be honest, at this point, they really do have some rounds they can throw away. I mean, you don't necessarily want to ever do that, but they have plenty of a buffer at this point. So I could see them getting a little overconfident, perhaps a little careless, like you said, due to the fact that they are winning so comfortably right now, as once again it's looking like all Selfless. So Notorious is not able to string together rounds. 13-2 at the half in favor of Selfless.
Yeah, that's a pretty devastating half. I mean, it's really not out of the question for a CT team to get 13 rounds, in one half. But really, both of the rounds that they lost very easily could have gone the other way. It wasn't really one of those 13-2s where there was a bunch of one-on-ones or really tight rounds. It was really Selfless dominating. All game. Yeah, the 2 rounds. There was one that knife frag that in the inner bomb site that really was a little unnecessary, and then Razor pushing in the end when he didn't have to. So I think that Selfless will pretty much be able to easily clean this up. But if Notorious can step up with a really good pistol round, deny all the bomb plants, and get some momentum going on their first gun round, I guess it is possible that they do the same thing to Selfless that Selfless did to them.
Yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibility, but again,
it's just going to be tough.
Absolutely,
it's going to be real
this pistol
tough.
round. If they don't get this pistol round, that's the backbreaker, folks.
Right, and as I said in the middle of the game, the main thing that Selfless was displaying was just really good shooting. Solid positioning in tandem with being able to click heads really well. So I believe that Selfless won't have a problem finding the space they need, taking their guns out, and just continuing to be able to outshoot Notorious, even though Notorious does have the range advantage with their USPs.
And here we go. We're kicking off the second half. Selfless up 13-2 in a CEVO-Main matchup here on Train. I'm Mess, joined by later Notorious, needing this pistol round to have any sort of glimmer of hope of potentially coming back and winning this map. But Selfless hoping to lock it up in the next 3. It's looking like the bomb is heading towards the A site. Actually, no, it's looking like they're heading towards Hinner, and already Razor takes out one. Kusta getting one of his own. So just like that, the advantage is in favor of the terrorists, but evening it up is Don Self with that headshot on Kusta. Great positioning by him. Selfie Whitehound gets him a shot on Akeda from above, so it's down to 2 of the counter-terrorists, and a bit of a power play as one player has left the server. Not sure which one. The bomb has been planted for Selfless. It's a 2-on-2. It's going to be a 2-man retake. Don Self. Whoa, 1-man retake. It's all up to Don Self, who is full health, and he has a kit. So this is pretty much ideal for him in this situation. Just got to come down to hitting his shots. Gets Razor. Looking for the second. Whitehound. I don't know if he hears him defusing. He does! Peeks around the corner. Don Self forced to get off the bomb. He's down to 19 HP, and that was... No! The shot from Don Self. He gets
time.
The 3K, but does he have the time? No, he doesn't. The terrorist winning the all-important pistol round, and like I said later, that's likely going to be the backbreaker.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it is either. Selfless is going to buy up and really exploit their firepower advantage and do what they do. That was a really bizarre pistol take for them. I don't know if you saw it, but they threw their smoke for Z, ran out ladder, and were running straight into Z. There was a CT that was in Z who I think he thought they were running in the sidewalk of B, when in reality they were running up the ladder lane, because he just turned his back and started running in her to rotate. And the 2 terrorists there were just kind of running with them. There was 3 guys in there on both teams. They didn't really know what to do, and eventually they just shot him in the back of the head. So
I think Razor even commented on that. He's like,
yeah,
next
a lot
gen.
about that round. Kind of bizarre, but still a solid round run for Selfless.
And they've opted to go with some Galils and a scout on the Quicksilver. They've taken complete control of the inner site, and it's all up to Element. He doesn't last too long. Bomb gets planted. It's now 15-2 in favor of Selfless, and they're likely going to sew it up here in the 18th round. Looking extremely strong and convincing here in this match.
Yeah, definitely. They really proved that they're going to be a strong contender this season. I have my eye permanently set on Kusta, as he was, he's been lights out all game. 22 frags, 2 assists, and 6 deaths. And my player to watch did not fall short either. Quicksilver, 18 kills and 5 frags. So good on both of them, as the outer take is very real right now. And Razor just put together some really nice shots right there.
Yeah, gets 2 off of the board already. Don Self is able to get 1. Kusta gets one, and Don Self gets himself a second. The bomb has been planted, though. It's 2-on-2. Last man standing is Kata. Kusta cleans them up. Selfless winning. I want to say Selfie because that's what their tag looks
The
like.
abbreviation, yeah.
Right,
They should
winning
make
it
Selfie.
16-2, convincing fashion here on Train.